includes, I didn't sign up for this one, but I could, I'll count it there. I submitted that at the request of some residents. There's a long stretch of the road there that there's no pedestrian access to get across, and it's a very popular, as you see, state beaches there, and it's a very long distance between crosswalks and intersections. So we're requesting.
Yeah, he's just asking if we do this, but I think one of the officers came when it was originally on when we
Cabin side.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think Sean studied this one.
Yep, correct. We did study it. So just some factual information about the roadway. There's two 12-foot travel lanes in each direction divided by an 18-foot raised grass median. There's 5-foot sidewalk on the west side of the road. Surrounding area, residential. You have the beach as the town manager mentioned. So you got destinations from one side to the other. Posted speed limit in this area is 30 miles an hour. The 85th percentile speed recorded between 38 and 40 miles an hour. There's a bus stop, I guess Route 69, two in the southbound direction at Angel and Gaspee. So here's Gaspee, Angel is here, so kind of in between. Elizabeth Road location. And the nearest crosswalk is located 500 feet north at Ocean and DeSeno Drive. This location here. And then 700 feet south at the intersection with Knowles Way. Crash history, there's no reported crashes in the most recent years in this area, particularly pertaining to pedestrians. Traffic head volumes, turning traffic counts were taken Saturday. This was in January. It was kind of, I think, based on when the it's originally got on the SCC agenda. So obviously not reflective of the summer, warmer months. We didn't want to necessarily delay studying this, to try to see if approved, try to get it in a time when it's going to be more heavily used. But during that time in January, were there any heads that I don't know from the notes that we really captured in Michelle? Maybe one. So very little heads using it at that time. I'm sorry. During the weekday, 12-hour count, 9 heads were counted. And then Saturday, during 4 hours, there were 3 heads during the 4-hour period. So their recommendations from the study were to install a crosswalk between St. James and Elizabeth Road to align with the Knowles Way extension loop. Where there's a break-in median, or that's minor, and we can work out the logistics of where we go. But in this vicinity, and then provide advanced warning, advanced striping. Did they recommend RP here? I don't see it in the recommendation.
No, just high visibility.
High visibility.
I think it would be a set process.
Yep.
And we'll see.
So we went through the flow chart. So we do
I'm sorry, Sean. Yeah, we did recommend an RFP here.
Okay. And being a 4-lane road with higher speeds, I would agree with that as well. And I think even enhanced pavement markings and signage would be beneficial too. I do recommend a crosswalk with RFP at this location.
Motion for approve the studies for crosswalk with the RFP.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, next. Yes, I'll get it. Motion, all right. First one will be 42153, request funding for Narragansett to include a 3-hour time limit for parking between May 15th and September 15th, for an hour to 6 days by P for Ocean Road from the Signage intersection of Beach Street and Ocean Road to the intersection of
I speak on behalf of the Narragansett. I'm not speaking as a private citizen. I'm speaking as the town manager, the director of the town solicitor, and the town council. Back in 2023, the town council adopted the parking ordinance that you see before you. Just prior to them adopting that, we had received initial assurances from RIDOT that time parking was okay, as long as it wasn't tow zones and preferential treatment to residents. It was just the time. Subsequent to that, the council passed it. It was too short to the summer to be able to enforce it, produce a signage, so we kicked it until 2024, when enforcement was scheduled to begin Memorial Day through Labor Day. They relied on 2 traffic studies, the planning board recommendation, and public comment meetings before they passed the ordinance. And now it is what's in dispute apparently is the 2 state roads involved. The solicitor has asked me to read into the record as he is unable to attend. The solicitor's name is Mark Davis, and he refers to Rhode Island General Law 31-12-12, powers of local authorities. Provisions of chapters 1227 of this title do not be deemed to prevent local authorities with respect to streets and highways under their jurisdiction from 1, regulating the standing or parking of vehicles. The courts have ruled that local authorities may adopt additional traffic regulations which are not in conflict with the Motor Vehicle Act. In the alternative, the town argues that for consistency purposes, they must approve the placement of the signs as requested or require all other similarly situated municipalities to remove their signs, etc. The Motor Vehicle Act was passed to create uniformity in applying the rules and regulations throughout the state. Other similarly situated municipalities, such as Westerly and Newport, have implemented a variety of parking restrictions, such as time limits, meters, etc., on state roads, similar in character to Ocean Road. Uniformity requires the state to A, approve the placement of signs in Narragansett, or B, require all similarly situated municipalities to remove signage that have been installed. That was authored by Mark Davis, the town solicitor, and that's it. Thank you for your time. I appreciate your hearing.
Can I ask one question? What is the reason for time?
That I can't speak for the council. I can only say that I was in some of the meetings, and they took a turnover of parking spaces that were occupied for the entire day. That was one of the main reasons. They were occupied for the entire day, and they wanted to turn over for businesses and the beach crowd.
Well, are you forcing these cars into the neighborhoods?
We also have they also have a 3-hour limit in the Pier on all the town roads. The only difference between the portion of the ordinance that affects the 2 state roads, Narragansett Ave and Ocean, is that the ones on the town roads, they allowed exceptions for residents that had resident stickers. That does not apply to the state road in the ordinance.
How is it going to be enforced? I mean, I was a police officer myself, and I'm sure I didn't go by, check off a car's tire and came back 3 hours later, so.
Usually the summers, the community service officers are trained and they issue parking tickets. So that short window from Memorial Day to Labor Day. The police officers do it as well. The majority of the work in the Pier is done by the community service officers and so on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would they be allowed to switch parking spaces? Or is it going to be banned for, like, you can't be in this particular spot for 3 hours and then you can move to that spot for 3 hours?
Well, with my years of law enforcement experience, I would probably try to do that. I would leave that to the local police to make a decision on that.
Anyone else?
Thank you.
So, I think the order I got it, Mr. Elder, Dr. Elder.
Dr. Al Alba, 24 Eagles Nest Terrace, Narragansett, Rhode Island. I would like to thank you all for allowing the public to speak and for hosting this meeting. We definitely do not want taxation without representation. I am an activist for the town of Narragansett, and I have been following this for many years. I have information here which I would like you all to review on your own. And it's the summary of the planning board activity, and it also has complete parking research study done by the town of Narragansett. On this note, it reads, Community Development Director Mike DeLuca provided an inventory map of the town parking regulations, Exhibit A, developed by the department after the completion of the 2011 parking study and updated in 2019. He noted that the Narragansett Town Beach is a major parking generator in the Pier area of the town, and that beach overcrowding, as referred to in newspaper articles, no research, newspaper articles, that's very important to know. Because it's not statistically significant when people just call in or berate our town council saying that we have overcrowding at our beach. He says overcrowding has been a significant issue in recent years. The beach overcrowding is due in large part to its relative small size in relation to the beach demand and the available supply of off-street and on-street parking. He noted that in addition to the adjacent beach parking lots, there are roughly 243 all-day on-street parking spaces along the 1 mile seawall section of Ocean Road, and by 8:15 a.m. or so, on non-rainy days, there are often over 100 cars already parked on the seawall, many of whom are headed to the beach. He believes that the seawall parking is contributing to beach overcrowding and adversely impacting both beach parking sales and retail businesses in the Pier area. When this originally was proposed, we had several local businesses spoke out against this. Greta Gomes of Monahan's. Okay. Then we had Gina Rahab of the yoga studio. They voiced their vocal opposition against this. Conrad Furley was also an activist, and had many followers. I have the Our Town Narragansett page, it has over 14,000 members, and on the Narragansett Town Council forum page, I have over 2,100 members. I did an online poll. 98% of the people were against this proposal. It is not going up for vote. They have not taken surveys to our area businesses. In fact, last summer, I did a day-to-day walk along those streets. I went down Memorial Square, where they have 2 hours with the parking. And those cars are parked bumper to bumper. And that was an excellent, officer, that was an excellent point you brought up. They have the CSOs who are there. I have people who are parking there for it's 2 hour limit parking, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. A handful of them get ticketed, but that's about it. So the point I was bringing out, in fact, there was sometimes because because Memorial Square parking is close to the beach, where we have the Ocean Road, there were times where these spaces were open on Ocean Road, and people will risk parking along Memorial Square because it was close to proximity. All we have to do is look at Memorial Square and all the adjacent areas along that area. All you have to do is go to Newport and see that signage in itself is not going to deter. In fact, it even comes out in the study. $50 per day ticket might not do anything. Well, this might be a slippery slope. We might be opening ourselves up to next year, they're going to propose 70, 100, totally. We in Narragansett want to leave Narragansett as it is. We're one of the few beaches that charge to get on. If people want to get there early, I got the videos online, I can send them to each of you. I'm not making this up. I can show you spaces where available. I can show you if they're so concerned about the crowding on the beach. I can show you my daily walks last year when the beach had plenty of space available. The town invested $140,000 on a carrying capacity study. And yeah, I was there walking along. They said the Narragansett Town Residents Association, Narragansett Pier Residents Association, which is a vocal group, they argued, our beach is overcrowded. Dr. Gail spoke for it. Our beach is overcrowded. We have to spend $140,000 on this beach carrying capacity study. And yet on my walks, people feel it's unsafe. On the busiest days, when that beach had both parking lots completely filled, when there was not one spot available to park your car on Ocean Road, that beach was safe. People weren't leaving the beach. People were waiting in line to get on that beach. They weren't taking their kids away. I feel unsafe. So it's very frustrating to me. My dad was a barber, a gas guy's common college. He had a place on Ocean Road. Sometimes his patrons will make a day of it. They'll get their haircut there. They'll take a walk along Ocean Road. They'll go to the area restaurants. And now they're going to have to rush back and forth. When I was there last summer, I saw people from Pawtucket, Central Falls, North Kingstown, who said, I said, you're walking about a mile to get to Narragansett Beach? Yeah, because we have limited income. But we love Narragansett Beach, so we'll pay for the admission. So why do we have to commercialize Narragansett? We are not Newport. We are not Providence. We're Narragansett Beach. You know, it's interesting because the town of Narragansett they're so concerned about affordable housing. As you know what's going on with the rental ordinances, they limited rentals for three unrelated, saying we got to make this place more affordable for families. And yet, when I see those families from Central Falls, Pawtucket, right? Even our brothers and sisters from South Kingstown and North Kingstown, they say, Dr. Alba, please speak up. Please go to this meeting. Let them know. My son was in high school. My kids were in college. If we can save $10 from not having a park in the lot, let us save it. You know, they still have to pay to get on. So it's just deeply frustrating. Why isn't this going out for vote? We had the library. Our town man knows we had to fight against the library because it wasn't put on the ballot. Well, let's put this on the ballot, Mr. Chairman. Let's have our town council not shove this down our throat, like the previous town council tried to stop our library in Narragansett. We don't want to have taxation without representation. I mean, it's just, I'm just trying to shake my head around this, you know what I'm trying to say? They're proposing now to increase seasonal homeowners' properties. These people aren't even there 50% of the year, and they want to increase them? These people are not probably tax out a house and home, and then they're going to have to sell their property, and they're going to have more rentals, Mr. Chairman. Does this make sense? It doesn't make sense. Why are we going out nickel and diming these people who basically are trying to enjoy a day at the beach, visit our local businesses? It makes absolutely no sense to me. So I strongly recommend you consider what I have to say, and I will gladly submit this paperwork for you so you guys can review that I'm not fabricating any of this stuff. So when you ask Mr. Chaney why do they want to have parking signs, it's not because of the area businesses. It's because we have a cohort, the Narragansett Pier Association, the Narragansett Town Association, they changed their name. They're saying we want to have a private beach. We're not a private beach. We have overcrowding. We want to have a more restricted beach. We want to practice exclusivity instead of inclusivity. And you can verify it. Beach Dairy passed a study, $140,000. And yet I was there every day. Some of those lots sometimes were 50% empty on weekdays. Virtually every day, 95% of the time, both the north and south lot, except Saturday and Sunday, on the weekdays, they were 50% empty. Yet the town of Narragansett is only having one of those either north or south lot, I believe it's the north lot, open at 1 p.m. If they're so concerned about parking, then why are they opening it at 1 p.m. when every day, when I do my research, and it's verified on tape, I'll gladly share that to you, I'll give my emails, those lots are 50% empty. If they're so concerned about the money dollar, open them up at 8 o'clock. I saw the elderly people walking in the west lot, which is a dirt road, crossing to Narragansett Beach. Little kids going through the Ocean Road, having to cross the crosswalk. People have to stop, obviously, but still it's a safety and security issue. So why is that town not opening that parking lot during the weekdays at 8 a.m., 8:30 when the beach opens? It's just incomprehensible. Okay. Thank you very much.
Mr. Galena, Anthony Galena.
I'd like to submit this information for the record. Thank you.
Hello. I want to thank you all for providing me an opportunity to speak. My name is Anthony Delano. I'm a resident of Narragansett, and I am a candidate for the Narragansett Town Council in 2024. I am strongly opposed to the installation of the proposed 3-hour parking limit signs, especially along the seawall. The signs will decimate our gorgeous ocean view, deter visitors from our town, and it will hurt our local businesses. data on the beach attendance has revealed a concerning trend of dwindling numbers. While some may attribute this decline to the weather conditions during the summer months, I believe the root cause lies in our current economy. Many Rhode Islanders are financially suffering right now. They can't keep up with the rising inflation, and many families simply cannot afford the added expense of the parking fees on top of the $12 per person fee just to get on the beach. For a family of four, that's $48 just for a simple beach day. Removing the free parking options along the seawall and other places will deter people from our beach and will hurt our low-income families. Last Wednesday, I publicly launched an online petition opposing the installation of these parking limit signs, and within a single day, we garnered over 200 signatures. And presently, I just checked, we have 1,200 signatures, and the support just keeps on growing each day. The resounding message of the people of Narragansett is clear. We do not want any signs disrupting the beauty of our seawall and other places. I implore you all to heed the voices of our community and vote against allowing the installation of 3-hour parking limit signs in Narragansett. Thank you.
That's everyone that wants to speak. Anyone want to add anything? So I know Sean has some emails that people reached out.
Yeah, for people that could not attend, I'd like to read their statements on behalf of them. And some coordination that has been conducted with some of the local businesses and DOT reaching out to them. One is from the Narragansett Chamber of Commerce, Peg Fredette, and she did provide a statement to, I believe, the Narragansett Times, so I just want to read that statement that she provided. Quote, "This is an issue for a very specific subset of businesses in Narragansett, and therefore a subset of chamber members. Those affected businesses are in the Pier area, Narragansett Avenue, and Boone Street. I conducted a meeting with interested and affected business owners in August of 2023, about the chamber membership status, and subsequently held a series of second meetings with interested and affected chamber members only businesses between February 28th and March 3rd of 2024. I interviewed or met with a total of 13 businesses and 18 individuals. The feedback, both pro and con, was essentially the same now as it was in 2023. However, logistical questions have been raised and possible solutions centered around employee parking have been floated. Having said that, the affected businesses are diverse and opinions about parking differ and are location dependent." Also from a couple businesses, two of the owners of Moynihan's sent me an email. So I'm going to read, this one is from Greta Combs. "Dear Mr. Raymond, I am one of the owners of Moynihan's Clam Shack at 190 Ocean Road. The contact was shared with me by Local Chamber of Commerce. The current town council has passed a resolution to implement a 3-hour parking restriction. I'm sure you are aware of this, and my understanding is right on. Is willing to be reviewing the proposal from tonight. I want to make you want to share with you our concerns. A few of our concerns. We want to stress the importance that this isn't just businesses worried about their employee parking. It is far more. We want to stress the lack of communication, transparency, and deliberate action planning required that our town didn't do. They never worked to engage the major stakeholders. Because this wasn't done with thought and intention, it creates a divide in our beautiful community, and that is a shame. Not sure how this evolved in the first place. I believe it was a small group of residents who complained of parking. When we asked our elected town official, they tell us to go on archaeological dig in the town archives to find it. That said, a few have, and we still can't figure it out. Nobody really knows how this all began. Many recognize some sort of parking restriction, paid parking is on the horizon, but we simply want to be able to develop that with careful analysis of the need and action plan to roll it out. Businesses not sure about the hanger tag process. I sent an email to the town manager, so I've heard back from him. I'm pretty sure they have no process or protocol in place for this, and I'm sure this will be just as crazy as a 3-hour proposal. Municipal court will be jammed up with parking tickets. The signage for Ocean Road is being hung on the opposite side of the road, which makes no sense. If you look at the current poles, the hanging signs on the opposite side, they're already riddled with signage. I'm not sure how people are supposed to know, parked on the water side of Ocean Road, that the signage on the opposite side applies to the parking lot of Ocean Road. This is simply just not thought out very well. Business is worried about the impact on business One business owner already shared he had an employee indicate he's not returning this season, opting to take another job somewhere else because of the hassle of having to worry about parking. Businesses worried about the impact on venue events like bridal showers, baby showers, weddings, and the towers, venues like Aqua Bloom Trio, Anchor Room, Coast Guard House, etc. Residents worried about increases of e-bikes, mopeds, as humans will adapt when change like this happens. We already have kids using e-bikes, and just last year we saw a few golf carts. All those little nooks and crannies in Narragansett will be filled with people parking similar methods of transportation to find work around the system. The use of e-bikes, mopeds, etc. will result in more crashes, busier EMS, fire, police, hospitals. This has been the trends we've seen other towns that have gone this route with parking, like Block Island, Martha's Vineyard, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, etc. All those communities have an influx of alternative transportation like e-bikes. Not sure what the regulations are, but I know golf carts are legal on the roads as long as they're registered, inspected, and have insurance. I believe that passed last June 2023. Wedding, bridal shower, baby shower venues, and the impact this will have on those. The potential increase in traffic trying to find new parking after the 3-hour parking expires. Rumor has it RIPTA is broken, struggling to drivers. They have cut and continue to cut South County routes. This is not good. We have no alternative parking. We have no alternative transportation like trolley or bus, shuttle. Not much time to seek feasibility of valet parking, Uber, Lyft, car service, etc. Cost of businesses to do something related to valet shuttle model. Coordination to try to work with other businesses to do something like this takes time and planning. I also believe the town engaged in procedural violation with the rule out of this. It was mentioned at one meeting that we would be given time to reconvene to express our concerns, and it never occurred. In fact, public comment was denied. Matt Combs from the same business also wrote, "My name is Matt Combs and I'm one of the owners of Monahan's Plant Shacks located on Ocean Road. Thank you for agreeing to listen to us. I am not for the 3-hour parking along Ocean Road. I feel that parking limit takes away from the charm and welcoming feeling that Narragansett offers. I know as a business owner, you would think I would want as much turnover as possible, and that's true to a degree, but Seawall has always been first come, first served as long as I've been alive. Our world is filled with enough stress and rules. Everything is fast-paced, we are constantly rushing. One thing I love about Narragansett is that it is laid back, slow-moving, people are relaxed, enjoying themselves. Why would we create more chaos?" Another question I have is why. I've never heard of a reason. Was there a parking study issued? Did the entire town vote on this? Who's supposed to benefit? I feel like there's no real plan in place to deal with issues such as employee parking, hotel guest parking, weddings at the towers, and most importantly, families coming to the beach. Can you imagine a family with small children getting a parking spot on the seawall, trying to move their cars, chairs, get to the beach, set for only 3 hours? No way, they won't come and instead will head somewhere else. If this 3-hour parking were to happen, I think we need specific plans and action steps to address all these issues. I feel like more time and planning needs to take place. This could be delayed for another year or two until everything has been thought through. I believe this would be the best interest of the town overall. Brittany Fox, I believe citizen wrote, she's a business owner of Pier Marketplace. We're a relatively seasonal business, so we do not get support year-round from locals. In hearing about the proposed parking situation, I fear that this will further discourage accessibility in Narragansett. The town itself has folks of all types, but some have more financial means than others, and this also applies to people who are visiting. We want Narragansett to be a place where everyone feels welcome, and with the astronomical price of Narragansett beach admission and parking is already a hindrance. In Pier Marketplace, we also pay more to have a parking lot reserved for our staff and customers, which I am certain would become reserved as free all-day parking. That would get used by those not willing to pay for premium spaces. This is true of other businesses as well with limited parking, some with no parking at all. What I truly wonder is why are we setting up more barriers for local tourism? As it is a challenge keeping our business operational in the winter months. We rely on busy summers to help make up the difference. I'm sure this benefits someone financially or at least goes towards maintenance costs, but so do our taxes and our business taxes. This feels like it would be pretty directly impact the local small businesses as we honestly cannot take anymore. Please consider this moving forward. Jessica Lynn wrote, "Hi, I saw that the parking situation for Ocean Road and Narragansett Ave is on the agenda for tomorrow's meeting. The town council voted to approve it, but since they are state roads, I hope something can be done to block this measure. Most residents do not want a parking limit in effect. The ocean and the beach should be able to be enjoyed by all Rhode Islanders, not just the elite few that can afford to live in the immediate area. Implementing this 3-hour parking limit will hurt both the town and state towards signage will ruin the natural beauty of the area. Please block this measure. Janet Kortik writes, I hope you will consider not allowing the town of Narragansett to put up 3-hour parking signs on Ocean Road along the seawall. They will block the beautiful views of the ocean and will keep people out of our restaurants and businesses. After only being able to spend a few hours on the beach, which is an expensive day for a family of 4 from any other town or city other than Narragansett. To me and many other residents, it's not even an option, it's just a matter of 3 people on the town council wanting to do this. Thank you for consideration in this matter. That summarizes what's been written. Thank you for everyone's patience while I read those out. I just want to make sure these people were heard. That vote to me. Questions at this time? Or
So I have not been just playing with my phone. I looked at the map, trying to figure out where it is. I don't know where all these businesses are. So I looked at one of the end, I found the Pier businesses and how far Ocean Road is from the beach. For me, I would think human nature is to make a decision that you're going to go to the beach today. If you get there early enough, you get a lot of free parking space. If not, you pay the $12. The financial end of it, I don't always buy because people have $1,000 cell phones and $5 iced coffees when they walk onto the beach. So if you're going to pay $12 to park or whatever it is, I'm not sure that the financial end of it is a factor for a lot of people who make the decision to go to the beach. That decision has been made before you leave the house. I'm questioning why the businesses in the area are opposing this and the town is pursuing. For the turnover part of it, I'm looking at the spaces and with human nature, you're either going to go there and hunt for a parking space, dump it in the neighborhood and move your car every half hour or hour, whatever it is, or you're not going to go at all. Or you're going to pay for parking. And then the comment from the other business, you're going to dump it in a private parking lot for an hour and then go to the beach or wherever you're going and then go try to find another parking space. I don't really have an answer from Mrs. Tanny on exactly why they're seeking a 3-hour limit. There's no, you want to add to that?
I have represented the words of the council that they voted on and provided the information to the citizens to support the ordinance that has been passed.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Recommendation?
just, I just want to say, working with the town manager and recording this, has been very good. Town manager is excellent to work with, and any information that we asked for has been submitted in a timely manner. In the beginning, when did reach out asking, what the involvement would be, I did respond that typically, based on history or how the laws were interpreted previously, that we would typically not get involved in terms of time and parking. However, with interest in this and just in general, our legal counsel, we did look at the laws and interpretation of jurisdiction and come to the conclusion that the state, being a state road, should be involved in these types of matters and they should go to the state traffic commission, which we responded back to, to the solicitor at the time, and then subsequently this got on the agenda back last September. So moving forward from that, DOT, getting information, studies to bring back to the SDC. We had questions to the town, which they answered. One of the questions being, I think originally or at the time, just clarification on, would it apply to Narragansett residents as well, and so that was clarified. They wouldn't be exempt from that. It would apply to everybody on those 2 state roads, and just the justification for limiting parking like you asked, which again was part of the town council ordinance that was submitted to us, and then we submitted that to legal for review. In meeting with the town council member, concerns were raised about concerns from the businesses that when we reached out, I reached out to the local businesses, there was a lot of opposition and concerns. So we did ask if the town council could work with those businesses to come to some form of resolution or provide more information, transparency. In addition to, again, what I received, and I think most notably, if there is, confusion or just, what is the actual specific plan going to be?
My question would be, when it came in front and I looked, I thought 3 hours, I would expect it was from the business community, and obviously this is not. So I don't see the problem that they're trying to solve.
Yeah, I think there's, I have questions, and you guys might have questions as well that, I would ask for the town and the town council to work with the businesses and locals to get that clarification, whether that's involves public workshops or whatever process the town wants to go through. I think I would need that information, more information prior to making a recommendation to all of you, because I didn't attend previous meetings that the town council had on this, so I can't say what happened.
So Mr. Chair, should we make a motion to deny this now and have it resubmitted, or should it be held after we took the testimony, or do we continue that?
Yeah, so if we continue it, staying on the agenda, if they have that communication with the, and they can reach a compromise, then, they can bring it back.
I was thinking of the local businesses, I know where these are, but then I think one of the testimony letters brought up about weddings at the Coast Guard House, and people, brides gonna have to leave there and run and move a car. I think there's a little bit of work to do.
Well, I will clarify, I think that there's a time when I think the proposal was from, I believe,
Oh, that's right, 3 to 6 or something.
6 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Afternoon truck. Okay.
Make a motion to continue, pending, right, we'll certainly continue our coordination with the town and work to see if we can get more information and if the town can work with businesses and the locals that have their concerns. And obviously, we deal with it, write out projects. You're not going to get a situation where everyone's happy, right? But I think, from my point of view, we want to make sure that everyone's heard, and everyone kind of understands what the impacts of this could potentially be if recommended for approval. So,
I would like to add that, Mr. Tierney, if there is a proposal to come back, I think we would like to know the rationale behind this. What is the reason to make people have to move their cars?
After this closes today, I'll reach out to Mr. Raymond and see what recommendations he wants to follow up on, and I'll get back to you. I would, before you close this, I would like to say, our relationship with the SDC, and especially Mr. Raymond, has been nothing short of courteous, professional, respectful, and genuinely friendly and honest. Everything he said is truth, and we appreciate hearing this. I know it's difficult to see the agenda that you guys face. I see the stuff that we send when I work with it. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, thank you.
All right, motion to continue?
Motion to continue.
All in favor?
Aye.
Continue. So we're going to do the same for 155, 42, 155, Lee Street to Narragansett Town Council.
Motion to continue. Aye.
Motion to continue.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for your expertise. And hopefully we'll work collectively to find the perfect solution for the town, our local businesses, and all of our local residences. Thank you so much, and God bless you all. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I appreciate it. Thank you.